Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host Dave, joined as always by Ned's Less Atomic Dustbin, aka Sarge. What does that name even mean? What is that?
It's a band called Ned's Atomic Dustbin, but
Okay.
I'm less atomic.
Gotcha. All right, and we're also joined by a special guest today, Maynard, Sarge's co-host for his other podcast. What's going on, bud?
Not too much. I didn't even see that I could have put a little title there.
You feel free to change it whenever you want, buddy.
Yeah,
No, I'm just going to rename.
Just put in leather sex swing.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that one in a while. But yeah, we it broke.
It's a weird inside joke with no context,
That's fine.
which I appreciate.
Listeners love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, nothing people like more than a joke they weren't included in.
Exactly. But what's going on, Maynard? How you doing? You looking good? You look like the Unabomber, but you know.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to, he wore a gray hoodie. Mine's green.
Valid.
But
So clearly not the same.
but yes, I do. I am. I guess now looking at myself, I do see some of that. But I assure you, I do not share his thoughts or any of that sort of stuff. But
I don't know, man. The Unabomber was kind of base, dude. I kind of fuck with him.
Now he is. Yeah. Now
At the time, it was
he
terrifying.
is. Yeah, at the time he was a bad person.
Yeah.
well, I just mean I'm not taking the actions that he took. Put it that
Right.
way.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're saying is that the U.S. Postal Service is safe from you, at least.
Oh yeah, totally.
Valid.
For the moment. For the moment, anyway.
Unless mailing like eggs or something, but
Yeah. And Sarge, how are you? You looking good as always?
I'm feeling good. My company had its annual Christmas party at the Museum of Science last night.
Oh fuck yeah!
And yeah, so they have like a big inflatable globe that just hangs from the ceiling now.
Okay.
And I just drank and stared at it. So that was fun.
Yeah. And you say you feel great after that? Because I had my Christmas party on Friday and I still feel like shit from it. So
No, I'm feeling good. I got a big jug of water that I'm going to consume after this podcast.
Hell yeah.
But first, I'm going to have some beer to lube me up. A little Dell's Shandy from Narragansett to get me going.
Love me Adele's.
Something
About anything mixed with lemonade is perfect. Beer,
you can't go
iced
wrong.
tea, like
Except for coffee. Coffee is really the only thing. Coffee and milk are the two things you can't mix with lemonade.
just instantly curdles. It's like
You
doing a
can
car
mix-
bomb.
But if you mix snow with lemonade, then
looks
no
like
one
piss.
will touch your lemonade snow. And then you can. But the problem is you got to remember where you put it.
it's true.
Because if you forget and you see yellow snow, you can't have it.
Oh, so you're saying make it in batches in your yard after a snow. Don't
Yes.
like bring it. Got it.
Yeah, because if you put it anywhere else, you can't be sure. You can't be sure that is not someone else's homebrew.
That's fair. Homebrew. God damn it. All right. That's good. I've never heard piss referred to as homebrew before. So
it immediately came to the top of my head just now. So it's a brand new invention.
dude, that's fucking great. I'm gonna
Patent pending.
Yeah, new merch idea. All right, well, guys, since I feel like shit for my work Christmas party because I got fucking blackout, I figured we're gonna do something a little different today. We're not going to cover a cryptid or anything like that. I guess this episode's more topical than what we normally do. We don't normally talk about shit that's happening in the news right now. I'm sure most of you are aware. I don't know if you guys are, but Jersey's kind of fucking being invaded by drones right now. It's bananas.
My favorite thing about that whole situation is that without any provocation whatsoever, a New Jersey senator was like, let's shoot him. Which is the most American thing I've ever heard in my life.
Actually, what's funny is my wife pulled up the news on her phone, and one of the first things was, "Is it legal to shoot down drones in Pennsylvania?" It turns out it's not.
Nope.
You just
Definitely
can't
not.
do that. Yeah.
I don't think you can fire at anything in the sky with a weapon in this country. I don't think that's legal.
Ducks.
Yeah.
If we learned anything from Nintendo, you can shoot ducks.
Yeah. Anything of the avian variety, I'm sure is fine. Except for
for
bald
eagles.
eagles.
In condors, you can't shoot a condor these days.
No.
Well, I mean, that sucks, dude. Condor's good eating.
I'm sure it is. But there's only 20 of them left.
Fine, whatever. They're fine. Well, just don't make their fucking nests on cliff sides and have the babies fall. It's fine. But yeah, so as everyone, I'm sure they're aware, New Jersey like literally right across the bridge from where I live, is being inundated with mysterious drones. And it's been everywhere, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. But one thing that I always see attached to it that I didn't really know anything about was this conspiracy theory called Project Bluebeam. Are you guys familiar with it at all?
No, but it sounds Viagra based.
It's got that's Project Blue Pill.
Yeah, but if you take Viagra, then you have a blue beam.
That's
which to operate on.
Yeah.
It's not, and I mean, if it turns blue, you should see a doctor, but
only after 4 hours.
So before we dive into like the intricacies of Project Bluebeam and the New Jersey drone sightings or whatever, we do need to understand the man behind the theory, and he has one of the best names I've ever heard. It's Sarge Monast. So Monast was a Canadian investigative journalist, poet, and conspiracy theorist who gained attention in the 1990s for his claims about secret globalist agendas. This is all going to sound very red pill Alex Jonesy, and I was so excited when I was researching it. Born in Quebec in 1945, Monast initially pursued a conventional career in journalism before becoming disillusioned with mainstream narratives. Sounds very familiar. His skepticism led him down the rabbit hole of alternative research, where he focused on exposing what he believed were covert government operations. Monast first introduced Project Bluebeam in his 1994 book, Project Bluebeam, parentheses, NASA.
Parentheses, NASA.
Parentheses, NASA. I mean, I'm sure it sounds better in French.
I like that in the parentheses, he put an acronym.
Yeah, usually, yeah. In this book, he outlined a sinister 4-stage plan to implement a new world order. According to Monast, the scheme was devised by NASA in collaboration with the United Nations and shadowy elites. He viewed it as a spiritual war, a battle for humanity's very soul, which is he is a poet. I was going to say, that sounds very poetic, but it turns out he was a poet, so it all makes sense.
He's just going, there's nobody being left out here.
No, dude, and this theory it's right up my alley. I had never heard it before.
He's going Sarge on all of our Manasses.
Dude, yes.
and our Kevin Nashes.
Yeah, I was trying to hint to the New World Order by putting Hulkamania Running Wild on You as the name of the studio.
That was good.
It was not bad. Now, despite limited resources, Monast's passion for exposing hidden truths, quote unquote, resonated with conspiracy communities. Tragically, he did die in 1996 at just 51 years old under mysterious circumstances.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah, allegedly.
Oh wait, that is what we think. Sorry.
Yeah, he died from a heart attack.
Yeah.
Supporters claim his death was orchestrated by the very forces he sought to expose, citing his repeated warnings that his life was in danger. But all conspiracy theorists do that. Alex Jones, the one who was the dude that fucking died in the shootout? Bill Cooper.
Yep.
But he actually did go out in a baller way. So
he did.
Yeah. Now his work has since become a cornerstone of modern conspiracy theory, and you'll see a lot of that when I go through like the different things in the thing. It's basically, if you think of anything conspiracy now, this is all kind of where it stemmed from. More like with his warnings about Project Bluebeam. I hate that it's so close. Sparks debates that persist to this day. So, what is Project Bluebeam? So Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that burst onto the scene in the mid-90s with Monast's book that alleged that NASA, in collaboration with the global elites, had devised a complex scheme to establish a new world order. At its core, Project Bluebeam is said to aim for two major goals: replacing traditional religions with a unified global faith and centralizing power under a single authoritarian government.
Oh, just that?
Just that.
Oh, just that. Okay.
The theory is divided into 4 stages, and each stage rules, dude. I fuck with this so hard. I mean, I don't want it to happen, and I don't think that it's going to, but like this would make a really cool sci-fi book or like a movie or something like that. Now, the first phase of Project Bluebeam is about dismantling the foundations of humanity's belief systems. This would involve fabricating archaeological discoveries or manipulating existing finds to challenge religious texts and historical truths. There are some examples that some conspiracy theorists claim this has already happened. Claims that certain Dead Sea Scrolls contain hidden messages discrediting the Bible. Allegations that unexplained artifacts like the Antikythera mechanism or the Baghdad battery are part of a covert narrative to suggest advanced ancient technologies, and viral stories about like remember those monoliths that fucking were popping up in 2020 for no reason.
Yeah, some monoliths.
Yeah, so some people think that like that was part of Project Bluebeam. I don't really know why, but really what it is like by casting doubt on religions and like historical institutions, theorists argue that the public becomes more susceptible to a new belief system. So if you dismantle what they already know, you can build it back up with something new. Hence the world government or the world belief system. Stage 2, and this is a huge leap from stage 1 to stage 2.
No, I'm so excited. Is
massive holographic display. So stage 2 is the most infamous element of the whole Project Bluebeam. This involves using advanced holographic technology to project images into the sky, creating a global spectacle. These projections could take various forms, like religious figures, like people seeing like Jesus or the Virgin Mary in the sky, or like an alien spacecraft simulating like some sort of, I don't know what's the word, like invasion or something like that, or celestial phenomena. These are all tailored to evoke emotional responses in specific populations. So in one area of the world where it's mostly like Christian or they'd have the Virgin Mary. Somewhere like America, it'd be more like they would project UFOs or some sort of fucked up shit like that. You know what I mean? Remember in China, there was that weird thing where they had the video where it looked like there's a floating city in the sky.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
That people think was a hologram projected, like it was a test for Project Bluebeam. All right.
I mean, arguably that is probably, of all the things you're saying, the only one we have evidence for.
Yeah. I mean, we do have the technology is plausible. I didn't look into this and I really should have, but apparently in 2018, Chinese researchers unveiled a large scale space-based advertisements using satellites. So basically they're working on the technology to have fucking billboards in the sky like it's Blade Runner, if that makes sense. Yeah,
that sounds fun. That sounds, because you know what I was just thinking, we don't have enough advertisements. I was watching a YouTube video that was interrupted every 30 seconds with a fucking ad for car insurance, and I was like, you know what, I'm not seeing enough of these advertisements.
I'm just going to cancel the car insurance I have because of this. Fuck it.
Yeah, you've changed my mind, advertisement.
Right when you go to watch like a full concert on YouTube and every like 3 minutes, like right in the middle of the best song.
Yeah, they don't even let the song finish. They're like, no, we're going to put the ad right here because fuck you.
Speaking of concerts, so another, I guess like, not example, but conspiracy theorists say that we have the technology because the Coachella Tupac hologram.
Of course.
So that's now there are some examples that theorists highlight, like there's reports of like glowing crosses seen in the skies over Russia in 2018. And also like anytime SpaceX shoots a new Starlink satellite, like people often mistake them for UFOs, which they claim is going to start normalizing people's beliefs in mysterious sky phenomena.
There's actually a guy at my work who was on the news recently because he got a really good video shot of a train of SpaceX satellites going by, and it went viral.
Because it probably looks fucking sick.
Yeah, it looked really cool, but at no point was I like, oh, this makes sense. UFOs definitely travel in a straight line.
I mean, we don't know. Do we know for sure?
They're like, hey, you know what we got to do with these people who have all kinds of missiles, guns, and nuclear weapons? Let's fly in a straight line over their country.
Yeah.
Because they're not violent at all. They didn't just detonate nuclear weapons in the atmosphere for funsies back in the 1950s.
Now, technically, should they have gone serpentine? Probably.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
All right. So now we're going on stage 3. So we're stage 1, stage 2. Stage 1 is the religion thing. Stage 2 is holographs. This one is telepathic communication and mind control. So
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this literally includes every single conspiracy theory that we have ever talked about on the show is Project Bluebeam, and it's all in one. It's great.
I love it.
So in this stage, the theory suggests that the use of advanced AI and directed energy weapons to simulate telepathic communications. People would hear voices in their heads, messages they might interpret as divine or extraterrestrial in origin. And this stage aims to manipulate individuals on a deeply personal level. Now, this also kind of already exists in a way.
Taylor Swift.
Well, no, we have the LRAD, the long range acoustic device, which can project sound directly at a person. So it does seem
those
like
things are like messing with people's ears and like
yeah.
Definitely those, yeah.
But it's basically like you can like target one individual and like talk to them in a crowd of people, which is fucking wild. We also have DARPA's brain computer interface research, which raises concern about future applications of direct mind manipulation. We also have fucking Elon Musk putting fucking brain chips in people. So all this is kind of real in a sense.
Yeah.
kinda.
I mean, if I were to trust anyone on Earth to put a microchip in my brain, it would be Elon Musk, because as he has proven time and time again, he does not miss. Every technological device he creates is perfect and infallible, including that Cybertruck that broke because it snowed.
Yeah, his stuff definitely doesn't catch on fire randomly, and also
Never.
It's definitely not racist by running over black people but not white people. Yeah, it's definitely not.
He's very good at what he does. He is the Tony Stark of idiocracy.
Exactly. Now, so with theorists believe that this technology could be used to simulate religious or extraterrestrial messages, guiding individuals towards acceptance of the New World Order. Now, this is we get into stage 4, the final act, is my favorite one. So the
I was
final
going to
act,
ask how many stages, because
There's
it
4.
seems like a lot already.
No, there's 4. So the final act is the piece de resistance, if you want to call it that. A staged global alien invasion or apocalyptic event. Now, by creating a false existential threat, governments could justify draconian measures and unite humanity under one single governing body. Basically the end of Independence Day, where it was, it's basically that. So
Can we blow up the White House? I mean, not me. Can the aliens do? I wouldn't do that because that's against the law. But if aliens did it, like, that's fine.
yeah, if it's aliens, I don't think they're subject to Earth laws.
No, they're not, because they could just fly away.
Yeah, it's fine.
Get back in their Starlink train and just, serpentine off into the distance.
Yeah. What was that, Maynard?
I said, good luck catching them and putting them in jail.
Right?
Like, nah, we're leaving the planet. See ya.
Well, they can also talk to your brain, right?
That's true too.
Yeah, they can talk to your brain. So some historical events that are cited as tests to the stage 4 was the Phoenix Lights incident in 1997, where thousands witnessed a massive V-shaped object with lights on it in the sky. There's also the release of the Pentagon's UFO or UAP videos in recent year, but like basically that slow drip, like disclosure kind of thing. They're thinking that that's kind of getting people ready for what's going to happen. Now, why do all this? What is the theory? Not the theory. What is the end goal of the New World Order? We already talked about 2, the religious unification and all that stuff. So yeah, the ultimate end game for Project Bluebeam is a global transformation that concentrates like all politics, economic, and social power in the hands of just a few elite. So we got the religious unification. Once traditional religions are discredited or rendered irrelevant, a single global faith will supposedly emerge. Who's going to lead it? I have no idea. They don't really break down those kinds of details.
Of course not. No, that's it's just details. It's just details as to why,
Yeah. But basically what it's going to be designed to align with the New World Order's objectives. This new faith might worship technology or a central figurehead or even extraterrestrial entities that are going to end up being portrayed as like humanity saviors. Now, what are the ramifications of this? Well, you got loss of cultural and spiritual diversity replaced with a homogenized belief system, and religious leaders who resist could face persecution or marginalization or even execution. So the Pope fucking off with his head, Marie Antoinette, that motherfucker.
And that's bad.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, so, you know what I mean? Like, they'll make another one.
Yeah, they always do.
That might have world repercussions in this day and age, though.
They just keep replacing them with other, there's like 3 days where nobody's available, and then there's a new guy.
Yeah, then the smoke comes out of the chimney, and then
Okay, so we're gonna kill the Pope, is what you're saying. I mean, I'm not gonna do it because that's illegal. But aliens,
no, that's not the aliens. It's gonna be the New World Order.
Oh shit. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now
I got ahead of myself. I got excited.
The other things that are going to be happening here is you got totalitarian governance. The NWO is said to establish a single global government, eroding national sovereignty. Basically, there's no more borders anymore. It's going to be all just one thing, which is kind of fucking cool. I feel like that's pretty, what's the word?
The more I hear about the New World Order, the more I'm like, I mean, could it be worse than what we have now? Because it feels like it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's just like basically all decisions, the economic, political, and military would all be centralized. Which I mean, some of that's not great, but the idea of like not having any more national sovereignty and just like open borders for everyone, you can move freely. Like I kind of fuck with that.
Yeah, it's kind of nonsense that I need a password to go like to Mexico. It's right there.
Yeah,
or Canada.
There are some potential downsides.
Did I say password?
You said password.
Yes. Oh, I'm an idiot. I meant to say passport, which is like a password, but it's paper.
I was going to say, is a passport just not a paper password to get into other countries?
No, you're right. It's a documented password.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there are,
and the password, of course, is pineapple juice.
All right. So there are some downsides to this. Strict surveillance and control over individuals, aided by advancements in AI and biometric tracking. Elimination of dissent through propaganda, social scoring systems, or outright suppression. Now, the other thing that we kind of touched on is the economic control. So the theory posits the creation of a cashless society where digital currencies and financial systems are controlled by the elites. Individual financial autonomy would be impossible, as every transaction would be tracked and potentially limited. So the impact is you have a greater economic disparity, with wealth concentrating at the top, no different than it is now. And the people who resist the system could face financial exclusion. They can just cut your money right off and you can't do anything.
So like exactly like it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Except we call that jail.
Yeah.
So like you got a felony conviction, you can't get a job, so you're cut out of the system.
Yeah, but this is like you're making money. You just don't have access to it because they're taking
It's like a savings account.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a CD. Like
it's a CD.
Yeah. Some other goals are like population reduction. Some theorists allege that a reduced global population is part of the NWO's agenda, achieved through wars, pandemics, or sterilization campaigns. Some smaller populations would supposedly be easier to control and like resource manage. And then there's also like the ethical concerns about the manipulation of human life and freedom, blah, 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 whatever. No one cares.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, under the NWO, technology will dominate every aspect of life, with innovations like brain implants, augmented reality, and AI assistance facilitating control over individuals. Examples of theorized risks are smart cities that monitor behavior and restrict freedoms, and basically give you like a social credit score kind of thing. It's silly, but the other one is mandatory technology integration, such as microchips for identification or access to resources. So that's Project Bluebeam. That is what they want. How are we feeling about it so far? Maynard, why don't you go first?
I mean, there's some things here and there, but I think there's also a number of things going on in the world that very heavily go against it, like Elon Musk and other prominent people being like, we need to up our population and not down it. You know what I mean? Like they're all talking about like babies need to be born at a higher rate, and there's a lot of that right now, and I kind of disagree with it. I'm like, why do we need more people?
And I can't think of a person who is less qualified to raise more children than Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, I have 12 kids with 5 mothers and don't see any of them. He's like, everybody should do that.
Yeah. But
it seems like a problem.
But at the same time, Elon Musk is kind of implementing half of the things that are happening in Project Bluebeam.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, like,
that's where it's kind of weird.
Yeah. But again, it's a conspiracy theory. Of course, no one's like, they don't fucking,
My favorite thing about conspiracy theories is that, like, when you ask them, like, why are they doing this? You'd be like, well, they have to. It's in the rules. And it's like,
yeah.
So they're doing overt things that you can easily tell part of the conspiracy because they have to, because it's in the rules.
It's in the rules.
Because it's,
you can't deviate from the plan. All right. Everything
it doesn't make any sense.
No. So this brings us to the drones over New Jersey. So fast forward to November 2024, and we find ourselves in New Jersey, where reports of mysterious drone sightings have captured public attention. These events aren't isolated. They've occurred across multiple counties, including Morris and Somerset, and have sparked debates about their purpose. Now, Sarge, you did some research on the drone sightings over New Jersey, correct?
I did a little bit of research. Yeah, I was mostly researching the crazy senator who was like, "Let's shoot him out of the sky," like a fucking moron.
So not the drones.
Well, I didn't. So here's the thing about the drones. Here's my theory. All right,
Okay.
I got a theory. So we've got these drones that are flying over New Jersey. They're coordinated. There's groups of them.
Yeah.
I don't know for folks outside of Boston, but in Boston back in the early 2000s, we had a scare. There were some pixelated cartoon characters,
The Moonanites
that light up. Yes.
Yes.
Everyone was worried that this was a 9/11 style attack.
Yeah, I remember
and it
that.
turned out to be a viral marketing scheme with the least threatening cartoon characters on Earth.
Yeah, it was Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It was the Moonanites.
I'm telling you right now, this is a viral marketing scheme that went sideways real fast. And so no one wants to take ownership of it.
Okay.
And so they're just pretending it's some mysterious fucking drone thing when really it was probably like advertising a new fucking drone, a new energy drink. Who knows?
Maybe.
But the minute this got big, they were like, oh shit, scale it back.
But they didn't scale it back. If anything, it got worse.
Well, yeah, because now every motherfucker with a drone is like, oh, look everybody's shitting their pants. Get the drone, Steve.
Yeah, but the drones that they're seeing in Jersey are like 6 feet. Like they're massive drones. It's not there's some dude who got fucking a Bridgestone fucking.
I'm still 100% of the belief that this is just fucking with people. This is other people who have the means to make cool ass giant drones fucking with idiots.
Okay.
But then you have the idiots that are like putting up videos of airplanes being like, look at the drone. It's like,
Yeah.
that is-
Exactly.
I will say I don't think that the drones are extraterrestrial because one, they have red and green
No.
lights, which is FAA regulations. Like you need those drones, so they're definitely
Yeah.
terrestrial. What they are, I don't know. But Sarge, what research did you do? What do you want to share with us? Because if I got some stuff.
So I basically read a couple of news articles about it. My understanding is people are seeing these drones. They're seeing them all over the place. And I couldn't get through many articles because I didn't have a ton of time to do this. But the articles I did get through, what it's telling me is just a new version of everyone else's reaction to weird shit over the time that we've been doing this podcast. Get a gun. That's it. Everybody just wants to shoot them out of the sky. And everyone's panicked that it's Iranian fucking ships out in the
There's like a
harbor.
mothership out there.
Even though the Department of Defense is like, there's no Iranian ships out there. What are you talking about? Where are you getting this information? And the problem is, it's a senator giving out this information. So he's credible to somebody, not to me, because I know politicians are morons. But somebody is listening to this senator say it's an Iranian ship. And he said that, oh, I've got it from people in high up places. No, you don't, you fucking moron. You probably went on Reddit.
Yeah, because even the FBI, when they did their like little Senate hearing thing, they're like, yeah, we don't know what the fuck this is. I have no idea where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So
I really, honestly, dude, I'm telling you, I really think it started out as like a viral marketing thing, and then they realized that it was bad and people didn't like it and they're scared. And now all the other people are like, oh man, let's just fuck with a bunch of people.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
This is a 4chan op, I swear to God.
But there are some things about the site, like, so there's like unusual characteristics. Witnesses describe the drones that they're larger and more sophisticated than typical commercial like models, and their coordinated flight patterns suggest advanced capabilities. Now, what does that mean? I don't fucking know. I don't know how drones work. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know how a helicopter gets off the ground.
Okay, what I want to know is, what is the expertise of the people who are saying these have coordinated capabilities that are uncommon with drones?
Well, there's that
Because
time lapse video of all the
I've seen
fucking
it-
drones, and they're flying like in. It's pretty crazy. I'll send it to you, and then we.
But what I'm trying to say is, China right now is doing giant drone shows.
Yeah. But those little guys.
Where drones are flying in these like super coordinated things to make like lion heads and dragons.
They do them here. You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rent a drone show. My company rented a drone show over one of our offices.
But they're
for
not the size of a
employees there.
small bus. Like those are like little tiny guys.
I don't know, man.
So, but it's not even that they're coordinated flight patterns. Many sightings occurred near sensitive locations. Picatinny Arsenal, which is a military research facility in Jersey. They're flying around there. And then it's kind of fucking with public safety in a way. On November 26th, drones disrupted a medical helicopter attempting to land at a community college, and they had to abandon it because the drones were like fucking with the helicopter. So it's a little more than just like flying overhead, if that makes sense.
No, I get that part. But what I'm trying to say is, all you're really doing is kind of confirming my belief that these are some dickheads trying to fuck with people.
It could be.
Because how many times have you heard about a green laser blasting a helicopter?
Yeah, but that's just like people on the ground being dickheads.
That's everything that people do. We're born to be dickheads.
That's fair.
If you can make a 6-foot drone, like, to me, that's the least surprising thing about this whole story. Like, people make big, dumb bullshit all the time. People make remote control planes that are like 1/8 the size of an actual plane.
That's fair. What do you got, Maynard?
Somebody's lying somewhere. Somebody is lying, because, I mean, if you or I buy a drone, we fly that thing 402 feet. 400 feet, I believe, is the limit for a commercial drone. You fly that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 400 feet.
FAA is sending somebody to take that thing down. Like,
Yeah.
Like, if these things are up there in great amounts, like, somebody should have the technology to go fly up near it and see what the hell it is. And B, we should have the technology to take it down if it's doing something nefarious. And none of that's happening. So somebody is lying.
Let's say somebody knows something about it. There are a lot of like stories coming out from like the government. We're saying, like, I don't know if it's just because how low they're flying, but they're not detectable by radar, so they can't find them. And then when a plane or a helicopter does get near them, they like turn all the lights off and like basically disappear against the sky. Like they just can't see them anymore. So there is someone behind it, and they know what they're doing. And yeah, Sarge, they're probably fucking with people, but
yeah,
there's so many.
And here's my other thing. But
there's
about
like
this,
and they see like 50 of them at night, like in a row, and they're all fucking massive, crazy big drones. Like they're not just like, you can't just go buy these types of drones.
So here's my last point on this. If I were a foreign government and I was trying to do surveillance, I am not going to put lights on my drone at all.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy. And I'm not going to get caught on video. I'm not going to do like these big extravagant things where I fuck with a medical helicopter.
But anyway, so the reason why I bring up the drones is because, like I said, when I first started seeing a lot of this, Project Bluebeam was in a lot of the comment sections, and I had no idea what it was. So let's figure out how these drones may connect to Project Bluebeam. So the first one is the holographic projection test. So some theorists believe these drones are being used to test holographic projection technology in preparation for stage 2 of Project Bluebeam, the one where they project like Jesus into the sky. Their proximity to military installations could indicate involvement of classified experiments. Like there's in 2019, unexplained drone swarms were reported over Colorado and Nebraska with no official explanations were given, leading to theories about military testing of advanced systems. And then again, you also have the Starlink shit, the satellites, which create eerie light trails that are visible across multiple states and are often cited as conditioning events for holographic displays. Another theory connecting the drones to Project Bluebeam is psychological conditioning. The reported drone sightings may be part of a strategy to normalize unexplained aerial phenomena, making the public more receptive to future staged events like Stage 4 of Project Bluebeam, the alien invasion. Now, there are some precedents for this. The Pentagon's recent UFO disclosures have added credibility to the idea of unidentified flying objects in the sky. And then also mass media's increasing portrayal of alien invasions from like blockbuster films. Like, again, Stage 4 is basically Independence Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The third theory is that it's testing emergency response. So the disruption of the helicopter landing, like that could have been a deliberate test to gauge reactions from emergency services and civilians. How do we respond to an alien fucking up your whole system, basically? Right. And if so, it does mirror tactics theorized for simulating crisis in Stage 4 Project Bluebeam. And then obviously, number 4, the theory is that it's a prelude to a simulated alien invasion. Finally, the drones could represent a small-scale rehearsal for the grand finale. Their appearance, flight patterns, and locations near military sites suggest a calculated effort to sow intrigue and also fear. Because people are kind of freaking out about this. Mostly just the normies who don't know what the fuck's going on, if that makes sense.
I mean, for me, the most plausible thing The only thing I can think of, because I just surveillance drone completely out of the question for me, because you wouldn't put lights in a surveillance drone.
Yeah. Well,
the most plausible for me would be trying to scare people.
yeah.
It's just a coordinated panic attack. But the problem that I have with that being, oh, these are foreign governments trying to do this, or even our own government trying to do this, is I feel like the sightings would be a lot more widespread.
Yeah, they wouldn't just be in Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that there was even a fucking like arsenal, like military installation in Jersey. So I had you know what I mean? Like, but I guess that's good. I guess that means that it is more secret than I thought, because I had no idea it existed.
Well, so like if you're in the military, Picatinny Arsenal is pretty well known, but I didn't know it was in New Jersey. I thought it was in Pennsylvania. So.
Yeah, and they are now encroaching into Pennsylvania. Not the arsenal, the fucking drones.
The drones.
They're slowly getting into other states too. There's been people that have seen them around up here in Massachusetts. I don't know.
Yeah, but then the other thing too is that like how much of that are you seeing a drone, and how much of that is
you wanting to see
strange
drone.
lights in the sky?
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, where we live, without trying to give away too much of our location, though many people have probably already figured it out. Where we live, there's a number of training facilities nearby that the Special Forces group out in Western Massachusetts uses. So they coordinate with the helicopters on Cape Cod.
Gotcha.
And the helicopters on Cape Cod come and pick them up, and then they drop them off at one of these locations, and they go fuck around at night. And I know this because I was at a training facility with some Special Forces guys that were also training there. Yeah. And I only knew it was them because they were wearing the craziest gear I've ever seen in my entire life. And I knew immediately by looking at them that they could have killed the entire company of us. Yeah. In one, in like 1 5-minute burst if they needed to. So, so that's really common, but also the state police does a lot of training with helicopters at night. Yeah. And you're going to see a lot of green light, and you're going to see a lot of red light, because that's what you have inside the cockpit, so that you're not blinded. So your night vision is still good. So I think some of this is, as we talked about, people fucking with people. And I think some of it is people are genuinely scared. And so when you see something in the sky that normally you would just write off as, oh, that must be a helicopter, or that must be, somebody just flying a civilian drone. Now it's becoming this nefarious thing. It's like what we've talked about with every episode we've done almost. When there's a sighting of a crazy thing, everybody else sees the crazy thing, and then all the villagers get their pitchforks and torches and they go chasing after it. Except in America, it's guns.
Well, Sarge, I'm glad you have your skeptics hat on, because now we're going to dive into the skeptics' perspective of what all this is. So
skeptics' perspective is just Reddit atheists.
Yeah. So while the connections between the drones and Project Blue Book are compelling to some skeptics, they argue that there's way more mundane situations to explain this, and some of them you kind of already touched on. Like one of them is of them is like corporate use, like companies may be testing delivery drones or even surveillance technology, not like military surveillance, but like like Amazon's fucking around with using drones to deliver stuff, and maybe not like to your house, that's insanely big, but like maybe from one facility to another facility. Or Domino's is also doing drone delivery. And I mean, again, I'm not saying, but like this could be a corporate use. Like it could be a company like Amazon or something like that, just trying to figure out the best way to deliver product from one place to another. The other one is like you kind of touched on, military exercises. The Picatinny Arsenal's proximity suggests maybe classified testing of some sort of like unnamed aerial system they have going on, and they can't just be like, yeah, that's us, because it's not. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe it's such high classifications that even the FBI, because they're looking into it, they don't know shit about it. Maybe they can't even know about it. You know what I mean? It's like the SR-71, like the stealth bomber shit like that. Like no one knew, like people had seen it, but they're like, nah, we don't know what that is. And everyone's like, well, what the fuck is it? They're like, I don't know. It's like shit like that.
Could be anything.
And then also, you kind of also touched on this also, is there's regulatory gaps when it comes to like drone stuff. Like the rise in drone ownership has outpaced the enforcement of drones. Like hard to really combat it. So this is leading to a lot of unauthorized flights near sensitive areas.
Naturally.
Again, I don't think this is like a hobbyist kind of thing, because the drones are so big and some of them are so wildly different from one another. But it could just be like that. Like, someone just happened to fucking has a bunch of weird drones and they're just fucking around, and there's no way for anyone to really enforce what it is. You're not going to scramble jets and helicopters every time a fucking propellered drone flies by. You know what I mean?
You know what I would love is if like these drones get found in the daylight and they find out that these 6-foot drones are just like a ton of drones made in the shape of like a waifu pillow. It's just flying waifu pillows all over the United States.
That'd actually be pretty good, but
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I think what it really comes down to, like, not with Project Blue Book, but at least with the drones, is that it's the lack of transparency that's coming out about it that's making everyone fucking freak out and speculate, and it's not great. Like,
absolutely.
It definitely causes people to connect it to shit like Project Bluebeam. You know what I mean?
Now, I put my skeptics hat on a lot when it comes to the government conspiracies.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am not crazy enough to think for a second that the United States government wouldn't do something insane, because that's literally all we've done for the last 120 something years.
Yeah, we're pretty good at it.
I mean, yeah, Operation Northwoods, MK Ultra, Project Paperclip.
Yeah.
All of the crazy nonsense that the CIA made and tried to hide, like the heart attack gun. Like, we do crazy shit. So when they're like, oh, we didn't do that, that wasn't us. I'm sorry, guys, I don't believe you. You dropped poison over a neighborhood in San Francisco just to see what would happen.
Just to see what would, what's going on. I wouldn't put it past them to do something like this, especially if it is like a.
Is it likely?
I mean, if it is like a top secret thing, and that's why there's no transparency to it, that makes sense. Because again, it is by that one installation. So yeah, it fucking could be. But why does any of this matter?
Well, I also know there's a drone company that was working out of Texas. I don't know if they still are. I forget the name of the guy. I want to say his name's Ryan Macbeth, but I could be wrong. He's got a great YouTube channel, but he works with this drone company, and their drones are designed to deliver like a synthetic blood to soldiers who are wounded on the battlefield.
Okay, that's kind of sick.
So instead of needing like a whole medevac just to stabilize a soldier until they can get him to a safer place where there will be a medevac, they'll send these drones in. But I also realized, as I was thinking about that we have weaponry right now that can disable drones and bring them out of the sky. We've given them to the Ukrainians.
EMPs and shit like that.
Well, yeah, but there's even radio frequency jammers that'll just bring a drone down.
Yeah, that's true too.
And so my question is, if the government were involved, those drones would probably be flying around a lot. If the government were truly scared and worried, I feel like you would see those drone destabilizing machines out there. They look like giant rifles, and they point it at the drone and shoot a barrage of, if I understand correctly, a barrage of radio frequencies that brings the drone down or hacks the drone and just makes it fly until the battery dies.
I think some of the reasons why they probably haven't shot any down is because they are happening over pretty populated areas. If you're shooting down if you're disabling a fucking 6-foot long metal drone out of the sky and it just comes crashing down into someone's house, then probably not going to be super stoked on it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So maybe they are trying to handle it in a way that's, they want to probably figure out where they're coming from first. I feel like shooting it out of the sky, public safety kind of thing, Now,
when you were talking about the radar picture of these things, who said that the radars wouldn't be able to pick up something that's like 6 feet long?
That's a great question. I think it was probably one of those stupid senators who have no idea what they're talking about. I remember hearing it somewhere. I don't remember where.
And the only reason I say this, and I could be wrong,
I could be peddling conspiracy theories right now by saying that. I have no idea. The
only reason I'm saying this is that I thought I heard that radars have become a lot more precise. So they can pick up fairly small. We're not talking like bird size, but they can pick up fairly small objects.
But it might be, I'm thinking about I think they might be talking about because you can drop down below radar. I'm talking about like airport traffic control.
Yeah.
Like they're not like,
a radar. I mean, those wouldn't be able to pick something like that up. But military radar is pretty precise.
Yeah, I think it's more like that kind of stuff. I don't think it's like they're not on the ground pointing it up. It's like already where the radar is for like.
That's different. Well, that's probably why the FAA has that rule that you can't
fly below a certain.
go up over 400 feet, because maybe that would show up on their radars. Or if you had a coordinated group of them, that would show up on radar.
And it could look like something way bigger if there's a bunch of them all at one time. Like,
exactly.
But anyways, none of this really matters because it's all fucking weird.
It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy for sure. That's the one thing that I've taken away from this. It is mind blowing to me.
So whether or not you believe in Project Bluebeam, like the implications of these phenomena, it's kind of undeniable. Like they do highlight concerns about government transparency and the rapid advancement of technology and the ways like public perception can be influenced on a mass scale. Like the New Jersey drone sightings are a modern reminder of how little we understand about our own skies and how that uncertainty can fuel just fucking bananas conspiracy theories, as you can see. But there you have it. That is the basically the pretty much all of Project Bluebeam and what's going on with the Jersey drones. We still don't know what's going on with the Jersey drones, but that's the story.
Really don't.
How are we feeling about it, Maynard?
I think eventually something will get resolved. Somebody's gonna spill the beans as to what they know if this keeps happening. And it keeps popping up. It can't go on forever with just, oh well, that happened. I feel like something's going to come out. Yeah.
I think it's a mix of maybe not viral marketing, because I think you brought up some really good points, Dave, when you were talking about companies just testing equipment.
Yeah.
So I think it could be that. I think it, very possibly could be the United States government. But to me, it just sounds like where there's so much of it being cited, it can't, I don't know that it can all be the drone.
Yeah.
Like some of it has to be, like, for instance, my daughter, I love her dearly, but she gets a little anxious about stuff like this. So last night I got a text message at 11 o'clock at night.
Was there a drone outside?
She saw two orange lights in the sky and they were moving across the sky and she was very panicked about it. And I'm like, honey, like the Coast Guard does flyovers all the time.
Yeah. And it could be like flares or something like that. Yeah.
Or my dog has found a toy. Or the, like I said, Cape Cod. Anyway, long story short, it could be helicopters. And that's what I told her. I was like, kiddo, you don't necessarily need to worry just yet. It could just be helicopters, especially because there's only two of them. If there was like 7 or 8 of them, or even 5 or 6, I'd be like, okay, maybe there are drones.
That's a bit much.
But it might just be 2 helicopters.
All right. Well, this is a fun one. I like doing this conspiracy, but also kind of getting some topical things in the mix. But if anyone has any fucking theories about what these are, head over to Spotify. You can leave a comment on the episode. Tell us what you think. Maybe we'll read some of them out. We'll do a whole episode on like maybe just listener comments on what they think the drones are. That could be pretty fun. But that out of the way, Maynard, is there anything you want to plug before we skedaddle?
I
mean,
we've been a little lax on our other show, Citizens Guide to the Supernormal, but new year, new me. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that.
We just drop an episode last month, so check that out.
Last month, so that's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Citizens Guide to the Supernormal, also available on Spotify. And Maynard's Roundtable on YouTube. We haven't done one of those in a minute either, but those episodes are evergreen. We really never talk about anything that's current.
Oh, there you go. All right, Sarge, is there anything you want to plug before we?
Yes, the coloring book. Please buy my coloring book. It will help you deal with the existential dread of the terrible decisions half of our nation made recently. Yeah. It is at sargessupernormal.com, all one word. The proceeds go to me because I'm poor. And might help you take some of your rage out. It's $9.99. It's available through Amazon, but if you go to sargessupernormal.com, you'll get there a lot faster. Yeah. So pick up a coloring book and listen to Citizens Guide to the Supernormal. We are going to do another episode. I promise. We have not given up on that show.
Not at all.
All right. All right. Yeah. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on Instagram at Cryptid Cocktail. Follow us on TikTok, Cryptid Cocktail Party. Also, I was a guest on my friend's show, Oh Look Another Ghost podcast, where we talk about the Phoenix Lights, which inspired me to do this video. So if you want to learn more about the Phoenix Lights and me being hammered and just talking shit the entire time, unlike it's pretty much this show, but on another show, go check out Oh Look Another Ghost. It's hosted by my buddy Nick. He's been a guest on this show a billion times. I think that's it. With that out of the way.
One more thing. Big thanks to Jordan for mentioning us.
Oh yeah.
That's super
it was
cool.
pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it. Didn't think he was gonna do it. I didn't really need him to do it, but the fact that
we originally thought he hated us, so that helps make me feel a little bit better.
Oh yeah, but that was cool. All right, Sarge, that out of the way. Do you want to say goodbye and I love you to the audience?
Goodbye, and I love you.